The Galactic Council had one unbreakable law, passed down through 3 millennia of interstellar civilization: never wake a hibernating human vessel. Ambassador Zethkar of the Vortanian Empire had always found this rule peculiar. Humans were such small, fragile creatures, barely reaching his knee joints with their soft pink flesh and primitive technology. How dangerous could they possibly be when roused from their deep sleep? He was about to find out. The massive human colony ship Eternal Rest drifted silently through the Andromeda Passage, its hull scarred by centuries of micrometeor impacts. Inside, 50,000 humans lay in cryogenic suspension, traveling to their new home in the Proxima Centauri system. The ship had been in transit for over 200 years, following the same predictable route that human vessels had used for generations. It was perfect for Zethkar's plan. The Vortanian fleet surrounded the defenseless colony ship like hungry predators. 12 massive warships, each bristling with plasma cannons and quantum torpedoes, formed a perfect sphere around their prey. The humans' outdated shields wouldn't last 30 seconds against such firepower. "Sir," his communications officer chittered nervously. "The Council explicitly forbade." "The Council grows soft," Zethkar snarled, his 4 arms gesturing dismissively. "These humans have been expanding into our territory for decades. One missing colony ship will send a message that the Vortanian Empire will not be ignored." He activated the ship's tractor beam, pulling the human vessel closer. The Eternal Rest offered no resistance. Its automated systems were designed for navigation, not warfare. Within minutes, Zethkar's boarding parties had secured the ship's bridge and begun accessing its computers. "Admiral," his tactical officer reported, "we've located the hibernation bays. 50,000 humans in suspended animation, just as intelligence indicated." Zethkar rubbed his mandibles together in satisfaction. "Excellent. Begin venting their life support. We'll make it look like a system failure. No one will suspect Vortanian involvement." But as the boarding parties moved through the ship's corridors, something went wrong. The Eternal Rest's emergency systems, triggered by the unauthorized intrusion, began their automated awakening sequence. Throughout the massive vessel, hibernation pods started their revival cycles. The humans were waking up. In Bay 7, Elsa Chen's eyes snapped open as the cryogenic fluid drained from her pod. Her mind, still sluggish from 2 centuries of suspended animation, struggled to process what was happening. Alien voices echoed through the corridors, harsh, clicking sounds that definitely weren't human. She stumbled from her pod, her legs weak but her engineer's instincts already kicking in. Around her, other colonists were awakening, confusion and fear written across their faces. Through the bay's observation windows, she could see the distinctive energy signatures of Vortanian weapons charging. "Helen!" Elsa called to her sister, who was emerging from the pod beside her. "We're under attack." Helen Martinez had been a military contractor before volunteering for the colony mission. Even after centuries of sleep, her tactical mind quickly assessed their situation. "Vortanians," she confirmed, recognizing the alien technology. "They think we're helpless." Word spread quickly through the awakening colonists. These weren't ordinary civilians. They were humanity's pioneers, selected for their skills, resourcefulness, and determination. Engineers, soldiers, scientists, doctors, and craftsmen who had volunteered to build a new world with nothing but their bare hands. And now they were very, very angry. Elsa's fingers flew across her portable workstation as she accessed the ship's systems. "I can reroute power from the hibernation systems," she reported. "Helen, can you get to the armory?" "Already on it," Helen replied, leading a group of awakened colonists toward the ship's defensive systems. What Zethkar hadn't realized, what no alien species truly understood about humans, was that they never traveled anywhere without a backup plan. The Eternal Rest wasn't just a colony ship. It was a mobile fortress designed to defend itself and establish a foothold in hostile territory. Hidden weapon systems came online as Elsa bypassed their safety locks. Armor plating, disguised as simple hull reinforcement, slid into defensive positions. The ship's mining equipment, revealed itself to be military-grade weaponry capable of cracking asteroids or enemy hulls. "Sir," Sethkar's tactical officer shrieked, "the human ship is powering weapons. How is that possible?" Before the admiral could respond, the Eternal Rest opened fire. Concentrated particle beams, originally designed for clearing debris from hyperspace routes, punched through Vortanian shields like they were made of paper. Magnetic accelerators, intended for launching mining probes, sent tungsten rounds screaming across space at relativistic velocities. 3 Vortanian warships exploded in the first volley, but the humans weren't finished. As more colonists awakened, they turned the Eternal Rest into something the galaxy had never seen. A ship operated not by a military crew, but by 50,000 desperate civilians fighting for their lives and their future. Engineers rerouted, power systems on the fly, pushing the ship's reactors beyond their safety limits. Doctors became damage control specialists, sealing hull breaches with emergency medical foam. Teachers coordinated defensive strategies while children, too young to understand the danger, helped carry supplies through the corridors. Every human aboard became part of a vast, interconnected organism, driven by a single purpose: survival. Sethkar watched in horror as his remaining ships fell one by one. The humans fought with a ferocity and coordination that defied explanation. They used tactics no military academy taught, improvised weapons from civilian equipment, and demonstrated a level of determination that chilled him to his core. "Fall back," he ordered, but it was too late. The Eternal Rest had been transformed. No longer a simple colony ship, it had become something magnificent and terrible, a testament to humanity's refusal to go quietly into extinction. As the last Vortanian vessel fled into hyperspace, Elsa stood on the bridge beside her sister, looking out at the debris field that had once been an enemy fleet. "Think they'll leave us alone now?" Helen asked. Elsa smiled grimly. "I think word is going to spread pretty quickly about what happens when you wake up humans." She was right. Within days, the story reached every corner of the galaxy. The Galactic Council's ancient law was no longer just a bureaucratic rule. It had become a survival instinct encoded in the DNA of every spacefaring species. Never wake the humans. Because when humanity fights for its future, the stars themselves tremble. And in the depths of space, 50,000 colonists continued their journey, no longer just pioneers seeking a new world, but guardians carrying the indomitable spirit of their species to the far reaches of the universe.